Hi, thanks for checking in today. I want to chat a little bit about something I saw online today. I'm going to make myself an Americano while we talk here, and then I'm going to go downstairs and drink it and keep this conversation going. Anyway, one of our local news channels posted a question on their Facebook page today about polling their fans about a chain restaurant or I guess a national restaurant brand that they'd like to see come to the area. And of course, they've got fans all over. So it's Wausau West and Schofield, Mosinee. There's people from up north commenting on the site. There's people from Wisconsin Rapids and Marshfield. Anyway, a lot of them had sort of the same old things they'd like to see come to the area. And I'm not going to name any national chains, but you can probably guess. Some of you probably want some of those places too. And there are a few people who went around and said, we don't need national brands here. We need to support the local places. And they named a whole bunch of local places, which is fantastic, which is amazing. Obviously, I'm biased because we're a locally owned business, and we have been for 16 years. It's just my wife, and I help her out. It's a woman-owned, locally owned business. So I'm biased. But here's the thing. In asking that question of the whole audience, it focuses on the things that we don't have here, rather than focusing on the things we have here. We have some great places in town. My wife and I dine out. We support local places. We know some of the owners of the local places. We go in, we have conversations with them. It's community. That's the important thing. Now, I know that the national chains, they employ the people who live in our communities, of course. But that profit element doesn't stay here. That connection is not here. That connection is important. It's unbelievably important. Do you go to another town and actually seek out to go to a national chain? Or do you find someplace that's small, that's local, that's unique, that's you can't find anywhere else? That's what we should be doing here. That's what we should focus on here. That's what will draw more people to central Wisconsin, to the Wausau metropolitan area. It will bring people from out of the area. They will come here to dine out, to stay, to shop. I mean, the discussion of a national chain restaurant coming to a town is the exact conversation and the exact thing that happened with the huge box stores, the box hardware stores. Our little hometown hardware stores, they're vanishing. Our hometown camera stores are gone. I'm big into photography. You can't find someplace. Green Bay is the nearest one where we've got a really good camera store. We had some in Wausau years ago, 20 years ago when I moved here. Other things, the big, Walmart just killed small businesses and continues to do so. Online shopping is ruining places, but yet we have places like Yankee Bookstore who have thrived in that environment. That's what we need. We need those small places, those locally owned places, even if it's a small locally owned chain. If the owner lives in the community or lives in a nearby community, these are the places we need. So please, to our media outlets, don't focus on what we don't have here. Focus on what we have here. Urge your friends, your family, urge other community members to support local businesses. Urge your local politicians, the cities, the towns, the villages, urge them to foster the local businesses rather than giving huge tax incentives to the big corporations. What do they need it? By simply a function of scale, the places like, I'm not even going to name them, all those big chains. There's just a news article that one of a fast food restaurant in some of their markets is going to start to pay their managers, their general managers, whether that's one store or multiple locations, I don't know. But they're going to start to pay them over $100,000 a year. That's fantastic for those people in those markets. By a function of scale, they can afford to do that. By a function of scale, they can manage their expenses better. They can sell food for lower prices by their own manufacturing. That mentality, that idea is killing the local businesses. You talk to any of the restaurant owners in town, in central Wisconsin, and they are struggling. They're struggling to find employees. They're struggling to pay employees as much as the employees can get at a chain restaurant Because again, function of scale, they can afford to do that. Insurance, local places like us, it's almost impossible to provide insurance. The bottom dollar is just not there for it. So rather than focusing on what we want, focus on what we have. Support your local businesses. I'm asking you, obviously, if you're seeing this, you're already on our platforms. You're talking to us. You're coming in. You are visiting us. You're supporting us. But support the other ones and talk about the other ones. Post online about the other ones, about your good experiences. And if you have a bad experience, don't completely destroy a local business's online presence by a bad review. Reach out and talk to them. They are accessible. I've had countless conversations with people about a product or a service or a time that they were in, and maybe we didn't live up to their expectation. That's going to happen. We're all human, right? You, me, them, all of us. Talk to us. Engage with us. Spread the word. And please, 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 support your local owned businesses. Day in and day out, choose local. Choose local, think local, buy local, eat local. This is what's going to keep our communities from becoming what I call cookie cutter communities. If all we want are those chains, then what is a community? What is something that's special about where we live and where we spend our time and the people that we engage with? If all you're going to do is order on your phone and not go in and talk to people, if all you're going to do is engage with an app or engage at a drive-through window, that's not community. That's not engagement. That's not doing anything for yourself, for your head, your community, the other people in your life. And I'm not talking about like friends, family. I'm talking about community members. This is what we need. We need this type of engagement. A little bit of a rant today. I'm sorry about the rant. Actually, I'm not really sorry about the rant. But this is what we need. So, local news outlets. Ask your people, what are your favorite local places? Focus on the local. Think local. Do it for us, for our communities. So I'm asking. Coffee before I go out to clear more snow. Cheers. Thanks for listening.